to making cupcakes, but in the end, the product is always worth it. How many of you know how to correctly follow directions on making cupcakes? Well, it's not that hard. So first, you're going to start by doing the basics. You're going to first start by preheating your oven to about 350 degrees. Next, you're going to always want to get your pans, these, and line them. We already have them lined, just to be easy. And then next, you want to get your ingredients. You're going to need a cup of water, half a cup of oil, and 3 eggs. Just a few extra things. Before you always start baking, you're going to want to wash your hands, pull your hair back, and wear an apron so you don't get dirty. Following directions. You want to make sure you have the right amount of ingredients and make sure you don't have too many. You're going to also want to thoroughly read the directions on the back of the box to make sure you don't miss a step. Okay, so to begin, we're going to first start taking the cupcake mix and pour it into the bowl. Next, you're going to add your ingredients. It doesn't really matter what order you add them in. Cup of water, half a cup of oil, and 3 eggs. And you're going to make sure you don't want to get any shells in the cupcakes because nobody wants to eat shells in the cupcakes. And then you're going to whisk. After this is all good and whisked, you're going to want to separate the batter into 24 equal pans, but we have 12 here. So make sure it's all good and equal. I chose Funfetti cupcakes because they are my favorite and my birthday is also tomorrow. I've loved to bake ever since I was young. I used to bake with my grandmother before she passed away. I've loved baking so much that I got a job at Great Harvest 54 when I was about 15 years old. I've been there for over a year and I really enjoy it. My mom always wishes I would cook more at home because I would like to say I'm pretty good at it. And it's just always been a big passion of mine. I don't really like to play sports that much. I would rather be helping people or making food. My favorite shows to watch on television are cooking channels because I just find them very interesting and I really like the competition about it. Okay, so after these are all good and separated, we're going to wipe around the edges to make sure that it just doesn't get burnt in that, pretty much. Okay, so now we're going to put these into the oven. So we're going to set the timer for about 19 minutes. Okay, after these have been baking for about 19 minutes, we're going to just pop them out of the oven and set them over here to cool. And make sure you always turn the oven on. Okay, so these need to cool for about 30 minutes before you start frosting them. After I've let these cool on a cooling rack for about 30 minutes, it's time to ice them. Around here, some of my family likes a lot of icing and some don't really like a lot. My mom doesn't really like that much icing, so we'll do a few for her. And then my dad, on the other hand, likes a lot of icing, so we're going to do some for him. So you're just going to take a little bit of icing and just rub it around on the cupcake. Make sure you get an even amount. And then lastly, if you want a little bit of decoration, you have a little bit of sprinkles. So after these are all good and decorated, you can of course eat them now, or you can put them in an airtight container and you can keep those soaked. As you guys can see, it's not very hard to follow the recipe. You just need to make sure you read the directions very thoroughly.